Louisville, KY. He was 14 years old, sitting in the front seat of his GMC pickup truck, listening to the radio call of Bobby Ussery ride Proud Clarion to a 30-1 upset in the Kentucky Derby. It would be a nice, tidy story if Bill Mott could tell people now that when he started training horses, he would eventually do it for men who build airplanes and rule countries, and that he'd get some who could bring him into the winner's circle of the biggest race in the world. But that wouldn't be true. Because from his tiny town in South Dakota, just across the Missouri River from the state capital Pierre, even bringing a horse to Churchill Downs, much less running in the Derby, would have felt much too big. "I never even imagined that I would ever be here," he said. "It was just a dream that was too far away. And to be up here thinking back at that, it's like going to outer space. But to blast off into the atmosphere, you need a rocket ship." And on Saturday, Sovereignty turned on the afterburners in the stretch of the 151st Derby, passing race favorite journalism and bending Mott's time-space continuum in more than one way. Because even though it wasn't the first Derby win for a trainer who has been among the best in the sport for 4 decades, it almost felt like it. In 2019, the Mott trainee Country House was named the Derby winner when the Kentucky racing stewards disqualified Maximum Security for drifting out at the top of the stretch and interfering with 2 other horses. Mott was, of course, happy to finally be a Derby winner. They lifted the trophy, got the garland of roses and celebrated into the night. But it was, admittedly, awkward if not downright bittersweet to get there that way. Watching Sovereignty settle into 16th early in the race, circle the field on the outside coming around the second turn and then outduel journalism in the stretch. "Much, much better. You have the joy of being here," said Riley Mott, his 33-year-old son who is now a trainer with his own string of 40 horses. "But crossing the wire first is a different animal. So is Sovereignty, and so is Mott. In a sport where the characters on the backstretch are famously good at overhype, misdirection and sometimes a little bit of chicanery, Mott is one trainer you'll never hear a bad word about." For more than 30 years in the national spotlight, beginning when he trained the Great Cigar to a remarkable 16-race winning streak back in 1995 and 1996, Mott has been regarded as a consummate gentleman and a patient, old-school horseman who never pushes them beyond their capabilities. It is, perhaps, why Mott actually hadn't run many horses in the Derby, just 8 prior to Country House, relative to the success he had in other big races.